Well, good morning. We're here for our weekly Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. We're here in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Court Street, Northeast Salem. And as always, if you will join us, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're gonna have to teach the cadence over here.
He doesn't have it yet.
He's way ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's a good day. A few clouds in the air. We're gonna get maybe some rain here in the next couple of days. It looks like that's what they're saying. But then it's gonna turn back on the heat. So our first item today is public comment, and David Beam is signed up. David, if you want to come over to the side here. Good morning. Always a pleasure to see you.
Commissioners, my name is David Beam. I'm an advocate for special needs population. I'm asking that the county would do more funding for mental health issues because a lot of disability people is not getting served in the county because some programs going to be cut in the governor's budget. So I'm asking the county would talk to the governor, put some of that money back into the county for foster homes and the group homes. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking $15 million for services after 5 o'clock for mental health emergency funding for the police departments citywide. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I'm going to see the governor this afternoon at the Governor's Reentry Council, so I'll tell her I saw you and that you need some help. I'll let her know that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Good to see you always.
Thank you and improve it. Please prove it. Thank you.
Okay. Consent calendar, and I believe
Is it my turn?
it's your turn, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent calendar under Board of Commissioners OLCC application. Recommend approval for Salem Oil LLC DBA Salem Shell. Under Clerk's Office, approve amendment number 1 to the contract for services with Lynx Group Incorporated to add $120,000 for printing. For printing ballots and extend the term through December 31st, 2020. Under Health and Human Services, approve the contract for services with TVW Incorporated, doing business as Sustainable Cleaning Systems for $420,000 to provide janitorial services for Marion County Health and Human Services, 15 various leased buildings on a schedule as needed, an on-call emergency basis. And approve amendment number 3 to the contract for services with Advanced Security Incorporated to add $330,000 and extend the term through June 30th, 2021 for unarmed security and vehicle patrol services for Marion County Health and Human Services, various locations.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second on the consent calendar. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay.
Chair Cameron, if I could, I would like to make a motion to remove an item from the action agenda this morning. It's under Health and Human Services, approval of Amendment 18 to 2017-19 Intergovernmental Agreement with the Oregon Health Authority. I really can't find information what it is, and I think we need to talk about it a bit.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, and we have a motion and a second, and any further discussion? So what you're looking for is the original contract that applies to that amendment?
Or some opportunity to look at it or talk about it before it comes to the board.
All right. We have a motion to remove item number 2 from the action. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All right. Boy, this is going to be a record. Under Business Services, Colleen, we've got, and Kevin are here. Consider approval of a purchase order number 872742, Johnson Borough, Oregon, in the amount of $114,190 for 3 condensing boilers from the Marion County Jail. Welcome.
Good morning. Colleen Kuntz-Chaffins, Business Services Director.
Kevin Burton, Construction Project Coordinator.
This morning, we're here for you to consider and approve the purchase of boilers, 3 boilers for the jail. If you recall, last week we were here, you were the contract board who approved a discretionary action. This is approving the purchase of said boilers, and because you gave us that discretionary action last week, we have to come back before you and ask for it's a separate process, and so we need to ask you to finalize this purchase with your approval. So from a context perspective, we went and got a solicitation. It was out there. The people that had given us bids on those, one of them did not meet our specifications, the first one that was received. The second one came in with bids higher. Our budget was $90,000. It came in at 114. So that's what we asked you to go with the exemption last week for the discretionary approval to approve that second bid. Today, we're asking you for the funds for that bid. So we're asking you to approve the $114,190 for the project funds to replace those 3 boilers. And if you have any questions, Kevin is here to help answer those.
Questions?
Were these the boilers that were stacked on top of each other?
Yes.
That were referenced yesterday? Okay. Glad we're not doing that again.
No.
Chair Cameron,
Yes,
if I
go
could,
ahead.
I think you went through this last, but I don't recall last week. So when will this be done, and what's the schedule?
Engineering is in process right now, and so we're waiting on final engineer. He gave us the approval or the specs for the boilers. So as soon as these are ordered, then the rest of the design gets finished, and Kevin will be working with that installation. Kevin, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, so we're ordering the boilers in advance because they take 8 weeks to manufacture. So we want them on hand when we have the contractor ready to go. Our design is wrapping up. It'll be wrapped up before the 20th of the month, so we can put the installation out to bid. And then once we have the contractor on board, we should have the boilers here, and then we'll schedule that. We're shooting for September, late August, early September.
I know I asked the same question last week, but
Okay.
again, your backup, if things don't go right, it seems like you kind of got to have it in a setting like the jail.
Yeah, we're hoping for that temperature range where we don't have to supplement heat or cooling in any extremes. So hopefully an extra blanket or something along those lines, but we do have options for temporary heat and cooling.
Okay. So Chair Cameron, I would make a motion to approve purchase order 872742 with Johnson Barrow, the amount of $114,190 for 3 condensing boilers for the Marion County Jail.
I second the motion.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want
Calendar.
to read the weekly calendar, Commissioner? Thank you.
Okay, today is Wednesday, June 5th. We are in board session. At noon, we will be at the Woodburn-Marion County meeting located at Luis's Taqueria at 523 Front Street in Woodburn. At 5:30 this evening, we have a Marion County Fair Board meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building, 555 Court Street, Northeast in Salem. Tomorrow, June 6th at 7 in the morning, the Salem Chamber of Commerce Public Policy meeting will happen, located at the Salem Area Chamber of Commerce at 1110 Commercial Street, Northeast in Salem. Tomorrow, June 6th at 1 in the afternoon, we have a department head elected officials meeting located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building, 555 Court Street, Northeast in Salem. At 3:30 in the afternoon, tomorrow, June 6th, we have a Mid-Willamette Valley Area Commission on Transportation, also known as MWACT, located at the Senator Hearing Room. That's this room, the first floor of this building, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. And then tomorrow, June 6th at 5:30 in the evening, there is a Detroit Downstream Passage Public Policy meeting located at the Staten Community Center, 400 West Virginia Street in Staten. That's a really important meeting. That's where the Army Corps of Engineers will update us on their proposed plan for the tower, the water mixing tower they're planning on building behind the Detroit Dam. Then on Monday, June 10th at 8 in the morning, we have the Association of Oregon County Steering Legislative Committee and Board meeting located at the Local Government Center, 1201 Court Street Northeast in Salem. On Tuesday, June 11th at 7:30 in the morning, we have the State and Marion County meeting located at the Covered Bridge Cafe, 510 North 3rd Avenue in Stayton. Then on June 11th at 9:30 in the morning, we have calendar review located on the 5th floor of this building in the Silverton Conference Room. That's 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. And then Tuesday, June 11th at 10 in the morning, we have management updated located in the Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor of this building, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. On June 11th at 11 a.m., we have a Board of Commissioners Chief Administrative Officer meeting located in the Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor of this building. On Tuesday, June 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon, we have a work session on the I-5 Aurora Donald Interchange located in the Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor of this building. On June 11th at 4 in the afternoon, we have a Chemeketa Agricultural Complex groundbreaking located at the Chemeketa Community College, 4000 Lancaster Drive Northeast in Salem. On Tuesday, June 11th at 4 in the afternoon, we have the Marion County Public Policy Safety Coordinating Council located in the Commissioner's Boardroom on the 5th floor of this building. On Wednesday, June 12th, we have board session located in this room. On Wednesday, June 12th at noon, we have a SEDCOR monthly business lunch located at Broadway Commons, 1300 Broadway Street Northeast in Salem. And on Wednesday, June 12th at 6 in the evening, we have the Aurora Donald Interchange Improvements Phase 1 public meeting located at Christ Lutheran Church, 15029 2nd Street Northeast in Aurora. Whew, that's some calendar this week.
You know, when I first got here, Commissioner, I think it was even before I got here when I met with you, you always said, yeah, after the budgets, the calendar kind of gets light. You can kind of like have a little vacation in the summertime. It's like, he just read that calendar and I'm going, again, here, we just finished budgets this week and it's like, is the calendar lighter? Not necessarily, yeah. So you mentioned the Detroit downstream passage. That one's in Stayton. Is that tomorrow night? Are you going to that one?
I went last night to the
Good.
Salem one. It was very good.
Okay, yeah,
was
at the
very good.
ODF&W?
At the ODF&W.
How many people were there, Commissioner?
Well, there was only maybe 20 or so. The
Oh, that's
problem
good.
was the doors were locked,
Oh.
which that was a mistake. I think they didn't,
They-
touch base with ODF&W, and so the doors locked at 5. And
People couldn't get in.
I had trouble getting in. Luckily, somebody saw me, but I was kind of walking around for 5 or 10 minutes. trying to
Oh, that's a
figure out.
problem.
Yeah, so that was, but the meeting went really well and was very well received. In fact, it was a marked contrast from the one we went to last summer, where people were visibly upset. It didn't seem like the Army Corps was listening. I mean, it was not a good meeting. This time, there was a round of applause for the Army Corps
Right.
afterwards.
That's
I mean,
what
people were
happened up in
really
Gates last
excited.
week.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was really to the Army Corps' credit. One of the things that they said at the end was they said the NEPA process worked. We went out, we got your input, and we changed our plans based on your input. That to their credit, they did.
May have had something to do with Jane's department, too. Maybe a little lawsuit
Yeah,
didn't hurt.
that gets their attention.
Well, hey, it's there's lots of different types of input. That might have been a really important piece of input.
She's smiling today.
I might go to the state one.
That's
Well-
tomorrow, is that tomorrow night? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Detroit one was very similar. There was probably 35, 40 people in Detroit, and Congressman Schrader was there at the beginning, and then he said a few words, and basically what you just said was the theme is, people applauded, they were happy. It was a good example of how the process works. There was no mention about any lawsuits from anybody. However, we know that the city of Salem and us and others, with the public's input, help the Army Corps realize what they're going to do. So I think that the one thing I would say, and Sam, you'll get to, well, you've already seen, we got that preview.
Sure.
And they go into a little more detail during that session, which was good, I thought.
Yeah.
The presentation, and the lady did it.
Yep.
She did a really good
She did
job.
a good job.
And seals came up at our meeting in Gates. How will the relocation of sea lions, or aren't they sea lions? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think there's sea lions.
Yeah, sea lions. How the relocation of sea lions will impact the fish population. And Greg, who runs
Yes.
the places up there, said immediately when they started taking those sea lions out, he saw more steelhead coming
Well,
in.
he told me a story about one particular sea lion that must stay right under the ladder, and they removed him, and then 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it takes to get here, they had the highest return in years.
Right.
So it matters.
Yeah, right. So I think that the other thing is it's great that they decided that they're going to do it that way. They got some challenges ahead,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they could do it. I got to,
You want that diving job, do you?
no, 300 feet or whatever. So that was good. At United Way, a couple things. United Way, we're giving grants to Eichbachs. They're trying to move their building. Not a lot of money that we gave them, but just to help them get to, I think, what did they say, they're raising $1.5 million or something like that in the next 2 months. And then
Are they making some progress? They give anything?
I don't know what their situation is. One of the members of United Way executive team is on their board, and she said it's going to be a challenge, but they're working on it. And then we gave United Gospel Mission $50,000 towards
that's
their
great.
building. Yeah, and to be a major sponsor of that from United Way. So that's some good, two good programs in town that are, needing relocation or buildings that are going on. I had a conversation with Commissioner Carlson about the, which I believe you're pretty much up to date on the COC, Continuum of Care. She brought me up to date. I think that was Thursday or Friday of last week. She was in Hawaii.
I saw pictures, yeah.
Yeah, when she
Too.
talked to me on the phone.
Doesn't look too miserable.
Yeah. Then, what was I gonna say on reentry? Something, we are gonna do a reentry breakfast.
Oh.
We're gonna do it in Kaiser. I think we just signed the contract yesterday on October 1st, and it'll get on your calendar, so, it'll be a little bit different than last year's, so hopefully you'll be able to make it.
At the Civic Center there?
Yeah, we're gonna do it up there
Oh, good.
for cost, and also.
It's a nice facility.
Yeah, one of the things that we're trying to do is it's been kind of Salem-centric. The breakfast has
Sure.
either been at Broadway or the last one was there. And one of the things that I'd like to see us do is take that message out further into Marion County, even beyond, kind of like the Second Chance tour we did. Take it to Rotaries up in Woodburn or, a city council meeting someplace and just give them a presentation on what's happening with our Second Chance and, parole and probation, how important that is and how it's changing lives. So we set a date for that, and those are probably 3 or 4 things that happened last week with me. But besides budgets.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up, how well that went. It was just, covered everything, bang, bang, no great controversy, and so many of the wonderful things we do. A couple sections got a little long, but Health Department just does that, just so you know. You were I don't know if you were bragging, but I want to. Do you mind? Just one time.
Bragg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about my little Rotary Club. We got like 20, 25 people in Staten, and we have it, the meetings are Wednesdays, and I can't today, we're heading to Woodburn, so I can't anyway. For 25 plus years, we've given like $4,000 a year for SIO, Staten, Regis, and St. E.M. schools, giving these scholarships away. Well, that's a whole lot of fireworks sales and strawberry sales and stuff. Well, this year, they insist and they say we can continue to do it. I just hope so. We're giving $10,000 worth of scholarships. And tonight, I go to State and we'll give them 3 of those away. And
Are they $1,000 or $500 or what?
we jumped them. One's $1,000 for 4 years. Wow. Well, that's pretty nice. Wow. And one's $2,000, one's $1,500 just for Staten tonight. So, I know the effort it takes to make $1,000 in a club, and I'm just real proud of it.
Right.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for those kids too, huh?
Yeah, and the recognition that goes with it. Yeah, it's good.
That's
I
great.
I don't even get to have to do all the work, and I get the fun part of passing it out.
Sure you do. You come to me every year and say, here's your strawberries, buy them. In fact, it's interesting you say that because I had one freezer bag full of strawberries. I took it out on Saturday, and I've been using it this week.
From us?
From last year.
Oh, you put
I-
it in a bag, comes in a bucket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I take the bucket and I put
Okay.
it in gallon freezer bags. And, in fact, I used them this morning when I made my smoothie, and I'm thinking, I gotta use these up before I get the new ones. They're coming any day now.
Next week, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot, isn't it?
It's one year they had big giant buckets. You remember that?
Yeah,
And
they
it was
fouled
like
up and they just said, here's what you get instead of
the big 5-gallon.
a gallon and
ones.
a half, you get 5. It was, yeah.
Oh, it's
it was-
only a gallon and a half.
Well, I think it's bigger
Or
than that. It's a
is it three?
maybe
Two?
it's a 2-gallon.
Okay,
It's a
okay,
bucket
okay,
about that
okay,
big, I
okay,
guess. And they worked really good for paint last weekend. I had like 3 or 4 of them with handles and
Yeah,
lids.
I
They're
know.
nice
I've
buckets.
used them for fish bait, so I know it's all legitimate. Recycle, reuse.
That's why I buy the jam, or the strawberries,
for
is
the
just for the
bucket.
buckets, right?
Well, there you go.
Anyway, I'm real proud of them.
That's good,
That's
Sam.
that's a lot
You know,
of,
between Rotary in the Canyon and Mike Long's
Tournament.
golf tournament, that's like $35,000 in scholarships to programs up there.
Yes.
That goes a long ways. yeah.
where they don't get much look or assistance otherwise.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Anything else? Well, it is 20 after, and we will adjourn. It's going to be a great day.